there you are. Daisy just left. She asked me to tell you. She had a wonderful time.
She didn't like it.
Oh, of course she did.
No.
It's really interesting in the pool scene after the second part in the Louisville flashback, because it was one of the first scenes I did in workshop with Leonardo and Toby. And actually, Leonardo's performance and Toby's performance was really fantastic in the first time they did it. And I particularly remember Leonardo, just because we hadn't started working, he did a very kind of quiet, spontaneous, quite quick, he's a very agitated, nervous performance of it. And I thought it was great.
We did a workshop in New York, just Leo and I, in terms of the actors. We were the only ones cast at that time. And he wanted to test the 3D, and then we put some wardrobe on, and he took pictures, and we recorded some of the dialogue, and he was building some kind of audiovisual materials to explore both the 3D and tone, look, feel.
But then we came to the day of doing it, and we were like mining Trimalchio. And I think by then, Dee had found a much more complicated, through Trimalchio, a much more complex Gatsby, a man who was not just had this vision, but was also struggling with his inner dreams.
We read Trimalchio, which was the unedited version of The Great Gatsby, which for us was very beneficial because it really gave a lot of answers into the motivations of the characters and what they meant in certain scenes. I mean, there's certain things that Gatsby says that seem so off the wall.
I'm only 32. I might still be a great man if I could forget that I once lost Daisy, but my life, old sport, my life has got to be like this.
He's a very obsessive man, and, you know, as soon as he feels like she's taken out of his grasp, you know, the dreamer comes back into play and he does anything to hold on to her.
It's like Gatsby has this script of his life that he wrote as a child, and he refuses to let the studio of life do any rewrites.
Everything's been so confused since then.
And when Nick even brings up the idea that, you know, I wouldn't ask too much of it, ask too much of it.
She even wants to leave that.
Jay, you can't repeat the past.
Can't repeat the past.
Like suddenly, Gatsby looks at Nick like, don't you ever say that again. Oh, yes, you can, you're just wrong. Now, don't say that, or I'll blank you, you know?
Why, of course you can. Of course you can.
He does believe that you can recreate the past, you know, all subject to your own imagination and reality. He is the ultimate dreamer. Reality doesn't really sink in with him.
Dee took a very big risk, I think. He hooked onto this idea that Nick Carraway's saying, I couldn't believe Gatsby's appalling sentimentality. Appalling meaning kind of like, he was like a big blubberpuss, but so touching.
I would be forever wed to her. So I stopped.
Baz always felt very strongly that we needed to articulate in images the first time Gatsby and Daisy make love. Gatsby describes it very clearly about letting go.
And I just let myself go.
She blossomed for him like a flower.
It's a very poignant scene in the film that needed to have all of the tenderness and youthfulness that we see has been lost in both Daisy and Gatsby. And you needed to understand how important that event was and why this has kept Gatsby going all these long years to try and reconnect with her, even after she's married another man.
She has to go to Tom and tell him that she never loved him.
He's got this area in him that's like wiped tapes. You can see there's an area in where Gatsby just doesn't understand. He doesn't have the sophisticated life experience to, he's going, oh, if I could just get back to there and put my script back together again, it's all gonna work. You know, I've got to go back to the past and repeat it and retrace my steps, and we're gonna go to Louisville, and now Nick's going, oh, this isn't good. He's not just intense, he might be mad.
Don't worry, old spawn, don't worry. I can protect her here. Good night, old spawn. wrong about the past, old sport. You're wrong.
And that is the point at which the film really becomes dark, because Gatsby's dream and absolutism and belief in the green light, although inspiring and beautiful to others, that way lies tragedy.